You're asking chat to be smart? Hey, I care about you guys, okay? Even though I tell you guys to explode and combust into a ball of flames every other day, I still do care about you. Hey cuties! Welcome back to the channel. I hope you'll enjoy your stay with me and remember to subscribe and like the video, because if you don't, I'll hurt you.
Fentanyl must be amazing. Loads of people give up on everything that makes life good for it. Their loved ones, any other possessions or pursuits, homes, their dignity, and even their lives. But actually, fentanyl is garbage heroin, inferior in every single way but one. It's the perfect drug for dealers. And while we hear a lot about how deadly fentanyl is, many people it kills are not even fentanyl addicts. It's truly the dumbest drug to ruin your life for.
Wait, I didn't know that. So this is just heroin light. I knew that it was very dangerous, and I have heard of people dying from this. I know that there's a pretty bad opioid epidemic right now. And I know that getting off of this shit is one of the worst things that you can try to do. But I didn't know it was just heroin, like worse heroin. It's TMU heroin. It's heroin dark. So it's TMU heroin. Damn.
Not even fentanyl addicts. It's truly the dumbest drug to ruin your life for. Let's learn what fentanyl does to you, what it feels like, and why it's so much lamer than heroin. Pain and pleasure.
Okay.
Maybe the two most important forces that guide our survival are pain and pleasure. Pain may be the most visible.
By the way, guys, I hope you understand that I'm not at all co-signing for you guys to do any of the drugs mentioned here, okay? Like, I think the only drug you should at all consider doing is caffeine. And even then, be very careful with the caffeine consumption, okay? That's the only one that I'll ever tell you guys, like, hey, you know what? That one's probably okay in small, moderate, and small doses. All the other ones, and no alcohol is on as bad in moderation as, say, fentanyl or heroin or whatever. I don't be a smart ass. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So don't try to be clever. I got coffee ice cream, so I'm fine. See, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I'm more of a nicotine person. Listen, I'm not gonna tell you that nicotine is as bad as fentanyl. It's definitely not as bad. It's still pretty bad, so as long as it's in moderation and you're not addicted to cigarettes or something, fine. But like, be careful with that, okay?
Physical
Just come on, try to be smart. Whenever you're consuming anything, please be smart, okay? Like, I drink, but I drink in moderation because of, come on. What about sugar lifestyle? Well, sugar is not as bad as nicotine, but sugar, like, too much sugar will kill you in other ways. So it'll turn you, first of all, into a fat fuck, and then, like, after you become a fat fuck, your heart just explodes after a while. So, like, you probably want to also be careful with the sugar. It's not bad, though. Sugar, you can take some sugar into your system. Just be careful.
Experience. A claw ripping your flesh, a bone cracking.
You're asking chat to be smart? Hey, I care about you guys, okay? Even though I tell you guys to explode and combust into a ball of flames every other day, I still do care about you. Don't do it. I mean this. I'm not playing around. Like, I don't talk about this often, but like, I've been in situations where I've had to help people who have abused substances, and it's not pretty. Okay? I joke about a lot of stuff here, but like, I mean this. Don't abuse substances. Like, this, it's not funny. You're gonna destroy your life and the life of the others around you. Okay? I mean this.
Rejection eating your soul. Pain can be scary and unbearable. It's the strongest signal our bodies have to make us avoid harm. Pleasure is what makes life good because it feels, well, amazing. Eating things that are sweet or high fat, having sex, or opening another booster pack with your
Imagine being a sex haver.
friends. Anything that makes you feel pleasure makes you want to do it again. These two opposing forces guide you through life. Pain shouts, "Stop, this is bad." Pleasure cheers, "More, do that again." But while they are opposites, they're also linked. Sometimes
I feel like anybody who's into BDSM probably has this linked.
Body needs to end pain and create pleasure at the same time. After giving birth, pain gets toned down and the mother is showered in happy hormones so she can bond with the newborn child. During an intense hunt, the hunter forgets the physical exhaustion and minor injuries.
Dodged it.
Both are technically not great experiences, but need to be repeated for our survival. And nature invented a powerful mechanism to achieve this: the mighty opioid receptor. It's like a keyhole on the neurons that control pain and pleasure. If activated, it reduces pain and how much you care about pain, and it creates pleasure and good feelings. The details are complex.
So this is essentially what people go through when they're exercising, right? I would assume that it's a similar system, like the pain that you feel from when you're exercising, or the soreness in this case, because I know that you're not supposed to feel pain when you're lifting weights or doing any type of exercise, but that soreness, sometimes pain, can be turned into like this thing that he's explaining right now. This is probably how that works. I would assume. I don't know. I'm no doctor, of course. Can we ban pain, please? No, I like the pain. Wow, holy fuck! I shouldn't have said that.
And not relevant for this story. What you need to know.
What I meant to say is that I like the soreness of exercising, okay? I like it, okay? Listen, I'm not saying I like to be sore all the time, but hey, sometimes it's a good feeling to know that, hey, I walked or jogged like 4 miles today. Like today I went and I jogged, I think it did 3.5 miles. And when I sat down on my PC, like my thighs like are all sore and my calves are all sore, and it's like, hey, you know what? Like, it's not ideal, but I'm happy that I feel sore because I know that I did a good job at the very least. I know that's not necessarily true. Don't give me the fucking pseudoscientific bullshit, okay? I know that it's not necessarily true always, okay? But for me, I know that I pushed myself. I know that heart rate was pretty high, okay? So I know it was a good kind of soreness. I like being sore, Scarlette. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself, holy fuck. Hey, D-Queen.
Is that any molecule that can fit into an opioid receptor like a key is called an opioid. Opioids are extremely powerful, so when your body uses natural opioids like endorphins when you laugh, it releases only a tiny amount exactly where they're needed. So the effects are mild and localized.
And this is why I like laughing so much. Get fucked, retards.
Your sprained ankle feels better, a painful memory
Yeah, come on, guys. You're just like getting pushed hard. Shut the fuck up.
subsides, you get a boost of happiness meeting an old friend. And now we're getting to drugs.
Shush.
Humans found opioids in nature like morphine and were quite taken by them. They got refined into a whole family of drugs used in hospitals and to relieve patients that are in immense pain. Codeine, OxyContin, Vicodin, and of course, heroin, and the worst of all.
I don't know what's the purpose of Vicodin. All I do know about the Vicodin is the fact that I know that Dr. House likes it and the show has something to do with his addiction to Vicodin. That's all I know. So I guess if you want to be like Dr. House, get on a nasty addiction of Vicodin. Vicodin is a painkiller? Okay, never mind, don't do that. I'm joking, by the way.
Fentanyl. Before we can explain why fentanyl is the most garbage drug, we need to do something fun. Let's inject some heroin together.
Again, don't inject heroin, ever.
Ready? The supernova of pleasure. Heroin rushes through your entire body and flips every opioid receptor it finds. A rapid cascade of things happens everywhere all at once.
Is this guy German? Would explain a lot.
A symphony of intense sensations. Every cell regulating pleasure is now high. Without their control, floodgates of happy hormones open and fill you up top to bottom with pure bliss. A cup of coffee, a nectar of joy.
Pause. A cup of coffee? I might do heroin now. I'm joking.
This song you like, a celestial symphony, a cuddle, pure love from the center of the universe.
By the way, these are all the things I thought that were going to happen when I got to Grandmaster in Overwatch 1 all those years ago. This is what I thought would happen.
Wherever you felt pain before, from wounds or aching joints or menstrual cramps or loneliness or self-loathing, it's gone now. you are simply unable to feel pain or care about it anymore. Like dimming the lights in a cozy room, your brain's alert system is put to sleep and you feel at ease, warm and serene. Any stress melts away and dissolves into a dreamlike haze. You're no longer worried or tense about anything.
Okay.
This peace even spreads to your essential organs, slowing your
He's setting this up, by the way. I'm telling you, he's making it sound like really nice right now. I 100% expect the switch around soon.
breath, soothing and slowing your intestines. Your chest rises and falls like the gentle waves of a quiet shore. You're sailing a sea of calm and happiness that feels perfect and eternal. The full load of a strong opioid like heroin for the very first time is one of the most amazing feelings humans can experience. For a few hours, you're in heaven. And this is exactly the problem. Your brain is not equipped to handle anything like it. You feel too good. But nothing lasts forever, and now you're in trouble. You just experienced the best feeling you ever felt. Your brain's reward center is completely fried and can't comprehend what happened.
And this is what actually happened when I got to Grandmaster in Overwatch.
If what you did felt this good, it has to be amazing for your survival, and you should do it again. Except you can never ever feel this good again. This will be your peak life moment forever. You may forever chase this.
By the way, it wasn't the peak life moment at all. Unlike heroin, where you at least have like a happy moment for a couple of hours, I just never got that. It was this hell. I got to Grandmaster. It stayed beat at hell. Oh, hi, silly Borg.
Feeling you had this very first time. And now you're back in the regular world, with your insecurities, where your knee hurts, regular tasting coffee, and having to work hard for happy hormones. Comparison is the thief of joy, and now you have your life to compare to a supernova of bliss. The indescribable feeling comes with a damage to your sense of life and self that may be irreparable. And this is not even the worst. Opioids are incredibly addictive, and the addiction among the worst you can have.
Me, whenever I would lose a game of Overwatch, thank you, and I would drop from Grandmaster to Master because I had because the Genji on the team thought he could actually solo the entire team. Fuck that guy.
Supernova of pain.
I speak from experience, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I know you can.
Once you've taken opioids a few times, your brain has had enough. The cells controlling pain and pleasure are constantly high and drowsy, so it boosts them and makes them hyperactive. This happens very fast, sometimes after a few days of use. You've developed an opioid tolerance, toning down all the nice effects you're doing the drugs to achieve. To feel like before, you'll need way higher doses.
I shouldn't laugh. With your age, everything you speak is of experience. It shouldn't laugh. But fuck you. You're lucky I'm in a good mood. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm in a good mood, okay, motherfucker?
Now, you're at a crossroads. Quit and have your system go back to normal fairly quickly, or keep going and take more. You take the wrong turn. Over the next few weeks, your brain keeps pushing back and you keep taking more. The effects are not quite what they were, but still mildly nice. Until one day, you can't get opioids and realize your body is now your enemy. Your systems are so hyperactive that they make you feel the opposite of what the drug was doing. Welcome to withdrawal. It all starts with a creeping unease. Instead of being euphoric and happy, nothing feels good anymore. Your coffee is tasteless, your favorite song lame, your loved one.
By the way, I really do think that even though he did what I expected, which was the turnaround, you know, like he did the plot twist. Oh, actually, it's really bad for you. Whatever, blah blah blah. I still think that the mere fact that you showed off and put heroin that first time, particularly in such a nice light, will probably embolden a couple of people to do it at least once in their lives, and they'll tell themselves, oh yeah, I'll do it one time. I won't do it ever again. And then they get addicted all the same. So like, I get what he's going for. I get what he's going for. But I'm telling you, there's probably gonna be a bunch of people who will want to do it at least one time, and then when they find out, as Blurred very aptly said on YouTube chat, that they're not invisible. Once they find out, and they fucked around with that's what's gonna happen. If really that's what's gonna happen. So
One's distant. A storm of negative emotions shatters your sea of calm. Serenity is replaced by anxiety and angst, like something terrible is imminent. Your worries, insecurities, and all the fears you suppressed aren't just back, but amplified into an existential crisis. You're so restless you can't sit still. Your heart is beating too fast. You shiver, sweat, hyperventilate. Your pain circuits are now oversensitive, so your bones and muscles ache and hurt for no reason. Old wounds, physical and mental, torture you. You have belly cramps and diarrhea and have to vomit. You're too agitated to rest. A war inside your body that you can't escape. And of course, there's the craving, screaming for you to make it stop. Your mind and body beg for a hit. You can be in this state for up to 2 weeks, or...
I'm pretty sure that people who quit cold turkey like that, some even end up dying because of how strong it is against them. So once the downside's coming up, okay, funny. Funny.
Make it stop right away.
But I'm pretty sure people die from this. I'm pretty certain.
Okay, so why not just take heroin forever and feel amazing always? The fun thing is that it doesn't work this way. You get tolerant to the nice effects like euphoria faster than to the bad ones like dangerously slow breathing. So it turns from touching the love center of the universe to mostly drowsy numbness and relief from withdrawal. Now you don't take opiates to get to heaven, but to avoid hell. You're in a prison of your mind and body, unable to connect with all the things that could actually make you feel good. Opioid addiction is brutal and extremely hard to escape. It should be pretty clear that you need to be extremely careful with any opioids, and if you have the chance to do it for fun, just don't. There's a very real risk that your life might just be over, and that you'll go through hell. Now that we've seen the heaven...
Bro, and I'm telling you, I've experienced this first time. Most of the time, people don't get out of it and they just end up dying. And you know what's the fucked up part about this? And listen, I know, this is not like, I know that you guys come to the stream for like not that many serious topics. I know that this is more of mostly a chill stream. But I do have to mention from time to time that, man, sometimes, and this is gonna suck to hear, but sometimes especially if it's like somebody that you knew, if it's somebody that you know, the thing that sucks the most about it oftentimes is the fact that whoever ends up abusing this drug, if you're lucky enough to not see them pass away in front of you or to find their body or whatever, they suddenly become the person that we used to talk about, but we don't talk about anymore. And that's, and I don't mean necessarily because they're not in their social circle anymore. It's because a lot of times what ends up happening is that you start abusing the drug, their life becomes centered around abusing said drug, and when you do, the person just disappears from your social circle, disappears from your just everything. And it becomes just somebody else that you used to talk about and don't talk about anymore. And it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. So like, I know that I'm hoping that the video does talk about like ways to get out of this situation if you're ever in it. But it would be unbecoming of me to not like mention this point and belabor it a little bit because I've had friends that become the friend that we don't talk about anymore. And no, it's not because they just simply fell off of our social circle.
Heaven and hell of heroin, we can get to fentanyl, the garbage drug. Fentanyl is really garbage heroin. Everything we just described is true in different intensities for most opioids. They can be great, all of them can be hell. Heroin is just sort of the strongest, except it isn't. Fentanyl is around 50 times more potent than heroin, but that doesn't mean 50 times more amazing. Quite the opposite. Fentanyl is extremely good at crossing the blood-brain barrier, the firewall that protects your brain from harmful substances. It enters your brain so easily that you get from 0 to extremely high almost instantly.
Jesus.
But just as fast as it enters, it leaves again. A heroin high can last 6 hours. One from fentanyl can fade in minutes. Fentanyl doesn't feel as good as heroin. Instead of a supernova of bliss, you mostly get the black hole of nodding away. But it comes with all the withdrawal symptoms. As a bonus, because fentanyl acts so quickly on your brain, it fries your reward center even more, making it even more addictive than heroin. And since you only need so little of it, it's super easy to overdose and die by accident. It's the deadliest illegal drug in US history by far. Between 2013 and
2 milligrams to die from fent is insane. I didn't know was that like the amount was so small. 2 milligrams and that kills you? 2 milligrams. That's it? I think some people manage to build a tolerance. Well, if you manage to build a tolerance, which, you know, I don't think you should be trying to build a tolerance against fentanyl. But 2 milligrams? Dude. Wow.
2023.
My morning coffee has 5 grams of sugar. And that's nothing. Nothing. It's nothing at all. Like, I barely feel. And by the way, and I drink my coffee with milk. Titty milk. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I drink my coffee with milk, okay? So, like, the coffee is already pretty sweet. And I add 5 grams of sugar to my coffee. That's a teaspoon. And I can barely feel the difference when it's not there. 2 milligrams kills you. Jesus fuck, dude.
It killed about 400,000 Americans. Fentanyl
Getting hooked on fent sounds like an easy way to control people as well. It really does. I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the sense of like, I think that the government is trying to put people on drugs to like control them or whatever. I don't think that. I think it's a lot less simple. I think that explanation is more simpler. Or rather, I think the explanation is probably something like, pharmaceuticals make a bunch of money, therefore let's put this out on the streets because it's easy to, you know, make money out of it. You get what I mean? But I wouldn't be surprised if to a certain extent the pharmaceutical companies are trying to, in some way, keep that, you know, keep that going. Because it lines up their pockets pretty nicely. Because again, the ones who were making the most money out of the opioid epidemic, who were the ones making the most money? Just follow where the money goes. Like, sure, there's the dealers. Sure, that's true. But who were the ones really making like the billions of dollars?
really is garbage heroin. Too dangerous, too intense, too addictive, too little fun. But then why are so many people taking it? Well, actually, nobody wants to. Fentanyl is not for users, it's for dealers. The house always wins. Fentanyl is a drug.
Probably that's a matter of active pushing in some cases, but more letting others push it out of convenience. Probably, yeah. Yeah, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know exactly why, but like, this is, brother, I knew it was bad. I knew this was really bad. I didn't think it was this bad.
Drug dealer's dream. One truckload could supply the entire US for 1 year. It's cheap to make and easy to smuggle. Heroin needs plants and fields and way more space. So garbage fentanyl just took over the heroin supply. It might have seemed great for heroin addicts at first, and then its trap snapped close.
What are you making? Flappy Bird? Fenty Bird? We got Fenty Bird before GTA 6? Bro, come on. We got Fenty Bird before GTA 6? No shot. Zaza Bird before GTA 6?
While some people may seek out fentanyl specifically, several studies have found that most opioid users try to avoid it. Even worse, a lot of people who die from fentanyl don't take it willingly.
That's fucked up.
Dealers want people to come back for their product, and by adding a tiny trace of fentanyl to any drug, they can make it more addictive. Even if people don't realize they took an opioid, they'll feel its effects. So dealers started to mix all kinds of drugs with fentanyl, turning the entire US drug market into a minefield where any trip can be your last. Because way too often, they put a bit too much in their mixes. In 2022, the combination with pills, often counterfeit oxycodone and benzodiazepines, accounted for about 20% of all fentanyl deaths. In 2023,
Wow.
the US authorities seized 115 million pills with fentanyl. 70% contained a lethal dose. About half of fentanyl overdoses came where you expected the least, from stimulants like cocaine and meth. A lot of people may have taken these mixes on purpose, but many others just wanted to party and weren't ready for an opioid surprise.
I also wouldn't be surprised if some of these dealers are using lethal amounts of fent to kill off a potential patron that they don't like anymore. I would not be surprised at all. Like actually, like 100%. I can see that being a thing that some dealers use to get rid of clientele that they don't like anymore. Like, again, 2 milligrams kill you. 2 milligrams, that's it. That will kill you.
This is especially dangerous because if you've never tried opioids, you can overdose very easily.
And if you've never tried opioids and you don't know what exactly you're looking for when you're doing them, you might actually associate that high with the actual opioid, even though it has nothing to do with the said opioid. Like, say that you take something like, I don't know, weed with laced fent in it. Dude, you are not gonna have, like, it's not gonna work. You're just gonna be, you're quite literally going to be in a position where, like, you don't know what to look for because your baseline is just wrong. So like, again, let me reiterate, it's dumb as fuck to use drugs like heroin, cocaine, acid, whatever. But think about that if you're even thinking about doing it. And if it just so happens that your strain was laced with fent, now your baseline is essentially fucked. Your first time being laced with fent is basically a death sentence. Yeah, pretty much. Your heart would explode. I would not be surprised. And honestly, if it's true, if all of these things are true, I now see why people who are on fent die so easily and so quickly.
Fentanyl really has no upsides outside medical use. For dealers and cartels, it means easy profit. For users, it means a worse opioid addiction and a worse life. For people who would never ever try it, it can be a death sentence they didn't see coming. No matter how alluring they are, using opioids, even in safe settings, is playing with fire on the best of days. Fentanyl is a garbage drug that turns this fire into a raging furnace, increasing the risk of death massively. There's really only one conclusion to draw here. If you have the choice, don't step into the supernova of pleasure, because the danger of it turning into a supernova of pain is just too high.
It's a good video. I think it's a good video. I am a little bit disappointed that he made the first time in heroin seem that good. I feel like the only thing that I see from this video that it's like a good thing is the fact that he is essentially saying the first time you do drugs is going to be the peak of your life. I feel like that is probably the best, like, anti-drug message you could get from the video. The fact that he's saying, again, the first time you do this is when your life is going to peak. You're never gonna have a life as good as this ever again. But he's still saying, you know, I just wish he hadn't gone like that hard on making it seem like it's that great of an experience. Oh, I do this when I'm administered by a medical professional. I don't think heroin is something that medical professionals administer in the doses that makes you feel those things. Take heroin on my deathbed then? Well, see, now we're talking. I did not mean to hit the soundboard for that one. Now we're talking. Heroin on the deathbed? Okay, now we're cooking with gas a little bit. Now we can talk a little bit about, you know, if you're dying out anyways, who gives a fuck? You're dead. If you're not dead now after you inject the heroin, you're dead tomorrow. Now we're talking. I hope you enjoyed today's video. By the way, as a friendly reminder, we do all of this live here on YouTube and on Twitch, and you're likely missing out, so don't forget to check the links below for my socials, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next video. Love you.